Well, hello everybody. It is Broker Bob here, and I want to welcome you to the Keller Williams orientation. I am Robert Shantz, your managing broker, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our fantastic office. And let's get started. So, most of you may have received an email from me, so we'll follow up on that email today and go over some of the stuff that was sitting there. And what I really wanted to touch on, though, was, we're very glad that you chose Keller Williams Real Estate as your place to do your real estate career. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the lighting correct in this Zoom meeting. And in case you haven't figured it out, we are a family here at KW, and I want to welcome you to the family. And we take that very seriously from our heart. We know you had many choices out there, many other opportunities, and probably looked at a few other companies. And we're glad that you chose us because we are different. So when we like that, we like being different. So what I wanted to just cover today was, first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and then go over some stuff that you'll need to know as you get integrated into our office. Okay, first and foremost, let me tell you who I am. So I'm your managing broker. And what that means is, in the eyes of the Department of Real Estate, they say to me, Robert, you're responsible for all these agents under your license. So what that means is, basically, you're my employee in their eyes. Not that I want you to be my employee, but I have to have certain rules and stuff put in place to make sure you're following the letter of the law that the Department of Real Estate, and I'll use the word DRE moving forward, says that I need to make sure you guys are doing. And so what does that mean? Well, it means a little legal this, legal that, contract support. Clients decide maybe they want to sue, or I try and prevent a lot of stuff like that. I take care of all that, making sure you're following the law, that the law was written. And we do that in several ways. We'll go through some of that today. But really just kind of help you navigate through your real estate business. So a little bit about me. How did I get to Keller Williams? Well, how did I get in real estate? For years, I was actually in the beauty business. I started in sales selling products from door to door to beauty salons and built up a really good business that way, and eventually became partners in a large salon and spa chain. And that ended in 2002. And I remember the day, it was July 2nd of 2002. I walked into a small real estate office up in Mission Hills, and I said, I saw their sign, I want to get my real estate license and I want to become a real estate agent. So that was the beginning of the journey. And between July of that year and December till I got my license in my hand, I actually told everybody I knew. See, I came from a business background and I knew it was all about marketing and advertising. And while I was studying, I was telling people I was getting my license, and I actually had people wait for me. They said, oh, well, we want to buy, or we need to sell. And so we'll wait for you to get your license. So because of that, when I got my license in December of that year of 2002, I had business waiting for me. I had about 3 listings and 3 sales that popped really quick. And I just thought, oh, well, this business is easy. Sure, just tell people you're in real estate and all these sales come your way. And these were big sales. Like my first one was 675, and then 800, and then 750. They were some big ones. And I never made that big amount of paycheck, even though I was still in a smaller split at that point. But it was a pretty big check. And I was all excited. So I had immediate success followed by immediate failure, because I hadn't learned the art of really always be prospecting, always be prospecting, always be prospecting. And so I got back in and I made a plan, and I was going to do open houses and go after for sale by owners. That was my plan. And that's my recommendation to you is, whatever it is you're going to do in this business, is find a plan and implement that plan. Make it a system and a model, a system and a model. And Gary Keller, our founder of the company, talks about systems and models in that book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, which we will get you a copy of if you don't have one. And what Gary did in that book is he went out and interviewed a couple hundred real estate agents across the country and says, what is it you do in your business? How do you do it? And why do you make so much money? And why you're successful? And then he came back in and they extrapolated and they put it in this great book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book. And I will be calling that the Red Book moving forward because it's got a red cover on it. So that Red Book is the key to every system and model in the real estate business. It's basically the business book for real estate agents, but if you're a insurance salesman or any other type of sales related, you could do the exact same thing. The models and systems in that book to build a rather large business. So was humming along, teamed up with a local developer, and we sold a few high rises downtown, the Mark Park Loft. We took over a condo conversion called Laurel Bay up in Balboa Park area. And then right when that was ending, I was looking at the real estate business like, I'm not really excited about what I see. And I had a friend that actually joined this small company that I'd never heard of called Keller Williams. At that time, it was Keller who? And I said, well, maybe I'll call her up and see what's going on. So she invited me to lunch. We talked a little bit and we talked about what my goals and dreams were. And we talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly of real estate. And, you know, I'd seen it all. There's a lot of good. There was some bad and there was some real ugly. And she said, well, I want you to come to this class. It's called Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap. And by the way, write that down. If we ever deliver a Quantum Leap in San Diego, there's only a few instructors that can teach it. It's a signature class for Keller Williams. And the class is actually about not just real estate, but really how do you have every area of your life in balance, whether it's be your spiritual, your physical, your financial, your family, your business, all that in balance in order to have the ultimate of everything working together. So I went to that class, and within the first morning, I said, this is the company I want to work with. And so I decided to join that Keller Williams at that point. And this was November of 2006. And we had joined another office outside of this office, but we transferred over to this office in February of 2007. So we brought our team over. And then within 6 months, me being with the office, Ashley, who you'll meet, she's our operating partner, was also the team leader at that time, was talking about putting in what we call a productivity coach at each market center. It was a pilot project within Keller Williams, groundbreaking. And so in passing, she asked me if I would be interested in talking about it. And I really was, because I like to help people. And that's really what it became. It was like, wow, if I could help people with their real estate business, and then I can actually go out and achieve what I want is to help other people, maybe I'll look at that. So I signed up, did it. And I was one of the first productivity coaches in the nation, still there today, and loved every minute of it. I helped other people build their business because I truly come from a servant's heart and want to give back and help people be the best that they can be. And so fast forward to 2014, 2015, Leona, she was our broker of record at the time and our owner, and as well as our operating partner. She decided she wanted to retire. She was getting up there and decided, you know, I'm done. Let the newer generation bring it in. So she asked me if I wanted to be broker of record, and not knowing what that meant, sure, I'll do it. She felt it would go a really good complement role with the productivity coaching role. And it does really well, because now I get to interact with everybody in the office. So that's how I became managing broker of the office. I came in as a real estate agent on a team. And I tell you this story because there are so many leadership opportunities available for agents and people at this company if they have the desire and dream and the determination that they want to do more. So keep that in mind if you think maybe you one day want to be the managing broker, or maybe even Steven's role as a team leader. There's lots of opportunities like that out there. So keep that in mind. But first, make some money as a real estate agent. So what I'm going to review with you today, I'm going to do that's my story. I hope it didn't bore you too much, but I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to go over some of the stuff that you should have already had access to. If you're sitting here, you probably have received a welcome email from me. That will have my contact information and my email address in there, obviously, in my email footer. But I sent you a couple items, and one of them is the KW Metro Associate folder Google Drive. We store everything here that you need to have access to help you with your business. And these are the things that we've determined that are the important things for you. You know, you need the logos. We got them stored here. Got a handbook stored here. But what we're going to review right now is this folder right here called COVID. And COVID is a new folder that was created because we are in the world of COVID in 2020. And it's all the rules that we as the real estate industry follows in order to do what the governor's office and the Department of Health and OSHA says that we have to do. So I'm not going to go through all of these forms in here, but I'm going to cover two. And the first one is the mandatory government showing requirements, including best practices, guidelines, and prevention plan. It's the BPPP. Now, again, I'm not going to go over every one of these forms. I'm just going to highlight them. But this is a form I want you to come back and read. This is how we as the real estate industry have to operate under the rules set forth by the governor's office. It's got showing rules for listing and buyer's agents. So you'll need to understand how you're going to show and list homes. The cleaning and disinfecting protocols that need to be done in between each showings. The rules for every visitor just to get into the property, and then the rules for sellers. So please go back and look through that and read that. It's very important because that's going to be how you're going to operate your business moving forward. Again, these aren't my rules. These are the rules that are put into law that we follow and I enforce. The other thing in here is the COVID-19 prevention plan for KW Metro Office San Diego. It's a lengthy document, but I was required to put this together when we reopened our office after we became essential workers when we all went into shutdown. And it basically says how we need to operate our office so that we are doing what we can to protect everybody. It's a lengthy document, but the only thing I want you to know in this is that the one thing that we have adopted is the mask policy. And that is you have to wear a mask in our office in general open areas if you visit. No mask, no entry. I have to protect our staff that works there, especially Ariana at the front desk. And so just remember, whenever you come to the office, you have to have a mask to even get in the front door. We're just like shopping at Costco. And if I can wear my mask at Costco, you can wear a mask when you see us. So that's kind of our policy there. And I won't go through anything else in there, but I'll let you, this one I do want you to read too as well, the mandatory office training and preventing the spread and taking extra care. So read through that. Now I'm required to deliver this to you, and my delivery is this video recording right now. I won't have you sign that you've received it. This is my proof that you've received it, okay? Also in this folder are all the logos in different colors, black and white, the colored ones, etc. And then agent status type. If you are with us today and you came in as a referral agent, not an active, you've joined the board and you're actively going out pursuing business. But if you're signed up as just referral means the only thing you can really do is refer business. So you can look for it, but you can't do it. And you can't get business cards made yet because you have to be a member of the board. But you can definitely talk to friends and family about if they want to buy or sell and then refer them to an agent in the office. And it's a lengthy document, but any questions, please reach out to me so we can get some clarity. If you think you should be active, just speak with Drew and he'll make that switch for you. And the other important thing in here is the KW Metro Agent Handbook. The handbook is the who, what, how, where, when, why. All the stuff you need to know at Keller Williams. It's got our staff directory, who does what and what that role is. It's got our compliance team, which is Mark Miller. He's my right hand, left hand, right leg, left leg. I would not be doing this role as managing broker without him. And you'll meet him later today on the call. And then all the in-house transaction coordinators that we have on staff. And I am adding one more soon because we have a lot of business right now and most of our TCs, and they're all great. And if you are an agent that came in from the outside with an outside TC, wish that TC well, because unfortunately you have to use our in-house TCs because they have to be under my license in order for the E&O insurance to cover them. And then our coaching roster. So not only am I your managing broker, but I also oversee all the coaches in the office. And so our coaches play two types of coaches. I have coaches that do launch coaching. So if you're a brand new agent and you've never done a deal, then you're primarily in launch. And so you'll get one of these coaches assigned to you. The other one's what I call growth coaching. These are people that have come in, or maybe they've graduated the launch program, and now they really want to build a strong foundation. Treated a little bit different than the launch coach. The growth coach is actually getting you to cap if you didn't cap in launch. So we have great programs put together. If you think you're a growth coaching candidate, reach out to me and I'll have one of my coaches reach out to you and do a 15-minute business evaluation. But if you're in launch, you probably already have one of these advisors assigned to you. And this is our 2020 ALC, our Agent Leadership Council. These are all agents that have excelled in production in 2019 and were invited to participate on the ALC for 2020. So when we say we're a family, we're also a company that's built by agents for agents. And these are the voices for you about how we should operate our business. Other than legal stuff, which I set the tone for that, they actually are your voice about what they would like to see this office be about. And they give up their time and energy doing all that, and we really appreciate them. And you are asked to be on this committee every year if you qualify with your production. And then our in-house partners you'll meet today are our great mortgage company, Movement Mortgage, with Amanda, Ed, and Wes. And then our great escrow company, where we have Justin as the escrow officer, as well as Vanessa Valdez. And you'll meet them as well too. And then office information and marketing and technology. But the most important thing in here is marketing and technology, your advertising. So when you get your business cards made and you're an active agent, here's what the DRE says you have to have on them. It has to list Keller Williams Realty San Diego Metro as your broker. It has to include your name with the Department of Real Estate, what your license is under. So if you're Bob Smith, it should say Bob Smith. If you have a nickname like Broker Bob, like I couldn't put Broker Bob as my main name on the business card because that's not what my license is under. So keep that in mind. If you have a nickname, you can put it in hyphens, but you can't use it as your main name. It has to be what you're licensed under. And then once you join the board, you will be allowed to use the word realtor in all your marketing and advertising because you become a member of NAR, CAR, and SCAR at that time. And then office address, and each office is independently owned. So once you get your design made up, just shoot the email to me about what it looks like, and I'll make sure that everything's correct according to what the DRE says you have to have it on. And we'll get that going for you. Same thing with your for sale signs. Once you start getting listings, you'll need to have for sale signs made. It has to pretty much be the same thing that's on your card, minus the picture. So go through the manual. It's got a lot of important numbers in there as well too, especially on the first page. It has the DRE number for KW Metro. It has the HUD number for if you're ever going to sell a property for someone that wants to buy a HUD home. It's got our tax ID number, which you'll need to put on the referral forms if you're ever going to refer a buyer or seller out in another part of the world. And then our MLS office ID numbers for not only just SDMLS, but also CRMLS, which we're a member of the South Bay as well too. But our primary is SDAR, SDMLS. All right, there's a lot of information in that handbook. And then we also have something here, Metro Agent Languages. So if you have run across a lead and that lead maybe speaks a different language as their primary language, you can match up exactly someone in the office maybe and refer that business to somebody else. We've got obviously English and Spanish, we have Farsi, we have Tagalog, we have a lot of Chinese, we have Mandarin as well as traditional. So everybody speaks a lot of languages in our office is my point. We're very multicultural. If there's a language, we're probably speaking it. And then a W-9 form you'll need when you send out that referral to the other side, because in order for them to send money, they'll need that form. All right, and then the last thing I'm gonna go through on here is the our brokerage policies. So what I've done with this, Mark and I put this together, we keep expanding it and adding stuff as necessary. But what we've primarily done is we've taken the DRE rules and all the guidance from risk management needed to keep you guys safe. And we encapsulate it in this brokerage policies, not like they're our rules. They're just the laws that are interpreted. And then we put this policy and guidelines together to help you run your business. And the first thing on here is advertising. So in 2018, the DRE changed their rules on how real estate agents can market and promote their business. And they say that anytime an agent is doing an ad that is an attempt to solicit business, so in other words, it's first point of contact. Well, that first point of contact ad or whatever it is, radio, etc., needs to have some identifiers on it. It needs to have our name, Keller Williams Realty San Diego Metro, your license name, whatever that may be, and then your DRE number and our DRE number on that ad. So that is everything from business cards, websites, mailers, brochures, yard signs, and social media. So social media, including Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, all those. If you're doing videos, even that video has to have that identifier information. Whether you've done a video where you've made it and put it on a slide, or you can just pan over to your business card at the beginning or end of the video to get the necessary information out there. So think of it anytime you make a post. So here's where agents can get in trouble. You post on your Facebook page, hey everybody, I just did my first sale of the year, or as a brand new real estate agent, and I represented the buyer on this house, and that's all you put. Well, that's not compliant, because what you're saying is you're marketing and advertising your business. So within that, whatever you're saying, you have to have the identifiers, Keller Williams Realty, DRE numbers, and your name in that ad. So just remember that. And you get a Facebook business page or Instagram business account, it has to have all that identifier information there as well. Coming soon listings and advertising. So very clear, the NAR passed a law this year about what they call the Clear Cooperation Policy. It's not a law, it's a policy. Basically says that if you are a member of NARCAR or SCAR and you take a listing, you have to market it to the broad MLS public. And without going into real detail on it, just know that you can't intentionally hold off a property you took a listing on and not put on the MLS and try and sell it yourself. A little bit more stuff we'll go over as time goes on. You'll hear about it. one of the biggest challenges right now in this inventory not so rich market is inventory. And we know that you might not just sell through the MLS, but maybe there's a for sale by owner, or referred to as FSBO, out there that didn't want to hire an agent. And they're just attempting to do it themselves. So we've set up systems on how to take a buyer to that and consummate that transaction and still get paid. So if you ever run across something like that, reach out to me and Mark and we'll walk you through it. But it's very specific that we got to make sure you do it the right way to protect your buyer. Office team meetings. So every Wednesday from 1:30 to 2:30 via Zoom right now, we're still digital. We do a weekly meeting. And our intention for the weekly meeting is to bring valuable information to you about your business. One week we'll do stats, market stats. Another week we'll do something of value for motivation. Another week we'll do something on technology. And then 1 week out of the month we do my meeting, Broker Bob's risk management meeting. Out of all the meetings, that's the one that I can require you to attend as my employee under the eyes of the DRE. So we want to see you there. But here's the reason why you want to come, because my goal is to present information to you that is important for you to know about what's going on in the market to protect you, the consumer, and the brokerage, and yourself and me. And I sit on the risk management committee with SDAR, and it's all the brokers coming together in San Diego County. Not all of them, but a good majority of them. And we talk about the complexities of this current market and what we're seeing about how do you navigate through something. So it's a really great mastermind for me, but we do a lot of sharing because our goal with that committee is to level up the industry, make it better. And that's the primary function of that committee. I also sit on what's called the grievance committee. The grievance committee is a committee in case another real estate agent wants to make a grievance against somebody else, another agent. So I see a lot of fun stuff on that committee. Buyer rep agreements. Buyer rep agreements is basically getting the buyers you're working with to commit to you 100%. And it's an exclusive arrangement. And we highly recommend during this period that you maintain that exclusive relationship because we're in the middle of a pandemic. And we want to make sure that you're getting paid to go out in the middle of a pandemic to help a buyer find a house. So that's important. Commissions, discounting, changes, reductions. As an office, we are not a discount broker house. It's against our E&O carrier as well as our franchise agreement with KW. Doesn't mean that from time to time you might need to reduce your commission or put money in a deal. Basically is what we call it, to save it. It happens more often than not, and especially during this market, just to save a deal. Come to me, let me know about it. And what our goal is to help you navigate through it where it doesn't have to happen. Because in the end, what we really want you to be is paid. And you work hard enough for your money, no reason to give it all up, especially your commissions. So just know you've got to come see me first and we'll see what we can do to work around it. We also have a great commercial team. If you did not join us to be on the commercial team, then this is for you. But if you're joined us, this is also for you. So commercial and residential are two different types of sales. Commercial has a lot more, shall we say, studies and overlays and lending requirements. So you more than likely are licensed to be a brand new real estate agent, a residential real estate. So that's 4 units or less, if you remember your exam. 5 units or more in residential, in multi-unit, so a condo, apartment building, commercial buildings, big lots of land, businesses, leases, stuff like that. That's a commercial application. We have a commercial team that you can refer business to in case you come across a commercial lead, and you will. My first year, I came across 2 commercial leads just in my regular prospecting. Ask the question though, when you're prospecting, Do you have any commercial leads? Do you own a business? More than likely, there are probably some businesses that are looking to either get under a new lease or maybe even expand in this market. Who knows? The reason I bring this up too with a commercial practice, they have a different level of fees. Their monthly billing for just the commercial is $85 a month, plus they have to pay $255 a month for their own separate MLS. So it's a pretty expensive proposition. Let me see how much time we have left. Perfect. Okay. Escrow deposits. This one's bold and highlighted and starred. I got 4 stars up there. It's very important. You'll never, ever, 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 ever touch a check for a buyer's deposit money to be delivered to escrow. You let the buyer deliver it. If you ever put that check in your hand, in your possession, you lose it, you could lose your license. Also, if you put it in your wallet, it's called commingling. You're commingling funds. That's a practice of what we call trust logging escrow deposits, and we don't trust log in our office. It's a rather archaic way of tracking earnest money deposits, and it's just too cumbersome for real estate agents to do. So you will write your purchase agreements with the templated version of the buyer to deliver to escrow the earnest money deposit. And it's bolded here: under no circumstances may you handle or retain the actual check or accept it for transfer to escrow. We just don't want you losing your license. So that is pretty much it for now. There's a lot of information in there, chock full. Again, I want to thank you for joining Keller Williams Realty San Diego Metro. You had other options, other choices, and you entrusted us. And we hold that trust with high regard and high value. We want you to know that we really, really respect that you've decided to hang your real estate license here. On the flip side, if you're a brand new agent, or even if you're a seasoned agent, here's my best piece of advice. Couple things. First thing I said is, a brand new agent, just tell everybody you know you're in the real estate business. Okay? And you'll hear good stuff or bad stuff, like, oh, just what we need is another real estate agent. Or you'll hear people say, I need to sell a house. I want to buy a house. Can you help me? The other thing is, if you're ever having a challenging time in the real estate business, and like I said, you've got to navigate the highs with the lows, and they do happen. So if you get to that point where there's the highs and lows, don't keep it within. Come to us. Let us know. We need to know that. Because we're there to help you. There's 300 agents out and people out of this office. We all want to see you succeed. Don't ever think you're ever going to do this business alone. You can't. You have to have support. It's a hard enough business without somebody to talk to as a guide or a mentor to help you navigate through the monkey waters and the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay? That said, we really appreciate your time today, and I hope you have the rest of the orientation. You'll get some valuable information, and hopefully one of these days we'll meet in the office. Okay?